Oh my God, are you ready? Okay. Let's do it. Okay, hey y'all. We're your Buttons babes, and we're back at you with another episode.
I'm Alyssa Vasquez.
I'm Alyssa Brayboy, and if y'all can't tell, like, also
who this?
knew all of the things. Who is this? Like, I had to, yes. Anyway, if you can't tell, your babes are excited.
Super jazzed.
Yes, we're growing over here and doing the damn thing. And as we do so, we want to remind you guys that this is a safe space. We are here and we understand and accept and agree that some of the things that we talk about might be a little triggering or activating for some, but we're here.
It triggers and activates each other sometimes.
Yep. But we are here to grow and to learn and to share. And so with that being said, we are going to roll over into our push to start. Mama?
Okay, so my push to start is I had a successful manic cleaning episode yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know if this is just like me and my family, or like maybe this is actually like a huge part of like some type of mental illness that I didn't know I had. But like just one day we'll like, you know what? I need to do something. I'm going to rearrange this room. As a kid, I think I rearranged my room like every 6 to 8 months. I painted like whole total redecorations. My mom would do this, like the living room. We just come home from school one day and like, oh, the house is like, whose house is this?
Like, what is it for you? Is it like a reset? Is it
It kind of is. I mean, like, boyfriend and I have been talking about moving in together, like a lot more often, and it's like frustrating. So I'm like, maybe this was my like therapeutic like new thing. Anyway, so I redid the living room.
It looks amazing, y'all.
Hung up some pictures and mirrors and just like moved things.
No,
but it's like
you
a completely different place.
It's you redid it. Like, furniture has been moved. The bar is on the other side. It looks great. We have space.
We have a table again, kind of.
So many room for what is it? So much.
There is a lot of room for activities.
Yes.
But we have more mirrors hung up. Like I've always been babbling about like portrait like walls and like mirrors and that kind of thing, and like I finally have it. So I had a really successful manic cleanup episode yesterday.
I love that for you, and it looks bomb. The house looks great.
Stay tuned for the cat pics.
Right? So my push to start, y'all. A bitch went to Disneyland for the first time last week or whenever.
Weekends ago.
Yes, I went to Disneyland for the first time, and it was fucking epic. I had no idea that
Future Disney had here.
Right, like I had no idea. I got ears. I should have brought the ears downstairs and been wearing them. Whatever. They're super cute. But I went to Disney for the first time. Didn't know that I would love it. Did go with Good Trouble. And like snuck out of the window of being grounded, and and got some time added to my sentence. But it was.
Share with the people.
Can I share with the people
what the time was?
What the time was?
Did it get doubled?
No, fuck that noise. Some Good Trouble asked. He was like, "Yo, do you have to start over? Like, what? What do you mean? Like,
oh yeah,
no, I have 2 to 3 weeks. What?
Is that how grounding works? If something happens, you start over?
It depends on how bad you messed up. I guess I don't know.
My parents would
grounding,
and then also be like, "Get the fuck out of here," or like, "You have to be somewhere."
Same.
Be like, wait, isn't?
Aren't I grounded? Is what I thought.
So
like, what is?
Wait, if you break a grounding, it doubles, or you start over, like.
Yes, okay. I used to like get in trouble. I was grounded for 2 weeks. You're grounded for another 2 weeks, or like, and if you were 2 weeks and then you get grounded again, then it does start over. But someone has said that I'm supposed to be grounded for 6 months. I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay.
And so I've like 2 weeks, just 2 weeks has been added to the sentence.
I didn't realize that was the grounding. Okay.
Yeah.
Then yes, more.
Oh, wait, what?
It's. But don't call it grounding, because that's not what it is.
Yeah. I don't get.
So you went with Good Trouble to Disneyland.
Yes.
Okay, so like, how was it magical?
Oh my goodness.
For like people who are like me and like, I mean, yes, Disney is cool, but like,
what, really? You're just like,
there's
there's something. Well, we went when there wasn't a lot of kids.
Okay.
That's the way we went when there weren't a lot of kids, and it was after 6 o'clock. People are leaving. So that was awesome, but there's just something in the air. Also, it's so goddamn clean. It smells amazing. Everyone is smiling and just so friendly. I felt like I stepped into like just yes, but like in a like real natural grounded way, and just very friendly, over the top. Not over the top. Friendly in a way that's not over the top. That's genuine, and people are happy to be there.
It's welcoming. Yes. I've been a couple times. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I thought the rides were gonna be janky or dumb and super cheesy. Oh my God, no. There's this Star Wars one, Escape from something or other, and that shit was lit. They did the damn thing. Even Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, like, oh my goodness. Yeah, no, it's not because we got
sponsored.
No, because we got beef just a little bit. Like, you doing all of the things, but now I get it. I see the roots. I'm like, damn, I would do all of the things too. Fuck. And anyway, so it was magical. It was great. And
what was the best thing you ate there?
Oh, I'm torn between the churro and I had one of the best Rice Krispies of my life. The Rice Krispie treats are fire. But also, this mofo knew what the fuck he was doing in terms of just being prepared and planning, like in terms of getting us in like the fast pass lane for things, like we have reservations for certain rides, like I just had to, yes. So we only waited like 5 or 10 minutes, and it was incredible. So we rode so many things, saw fireworks. I got ears, like I said, y'all, and we also, y'all, I know your girl's a bougie bitch. We valet parked. We pulled up to the resort, and someone took the car. We didn't ride a tram. Like, I just had to get out of the car and grab my water bottle and sunglasses. I was like,
oh my God. I love that for you. I love that for you because
I melted. I was like, oh, Alyssa, don't freak out. Don't freak out. Like, don't show that everything is melting and just a little drippy right now. Don't do it.
Not at Disney.
Bitch. They're kids. But when I tell you, I was fucking treated like a princess at Disney.
Yes. I can understand why that would like rock your boat.
It was so interesting because in the back of our heads, we're like, oh, this is fine. This is a friendly outing at Disney, blah, blah, blah. This isn't a date. Bitch, please. You snuck out the house to go to fucking... Yes. We're courting. Which I'm not supposed to be doing right now. But you know what? I had the best fucking time.
You said YOLO.
Yes, I did. I said, YOLO, I need this. Because also, man, I just realized this was supposed to be a Patreon, but y'all are welcome. Because
sorry, I was not on the ball there. So there will be more juicy details on Patreon for today's push to start. Thank you.
No, but I mean,
we're edging today. We are edging.
Yes, right. So,
good.
Y'all, yes. So, go check it out on Patreon. So, but anyway, and I realized that I tell on myself quite often because I posted it all over social media, and my support system, my group, my people were like, "Bitch, what was that? What are you doing?" Because I know a boy was involved. And I'm like, ugh. Yes. And so, exactly. So, that was that. In terms of my push to start was going to Disney, feeling all of the things, learning some things, experiencing some things, feeling guilty about it, and realizing that I don't do well with guilt. I quickly I jump on that.
There's like a layer of guilt that I do quickly, like whatever to, but there's also a layer that I don't, that we can go two ways. We can stay surface or we can fucking.
You're like, I can compartmentalize this and we're burying it.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
Yep. Oh, I guess we here. Wait, Mama, are we,
God damn it.
Are we here? We're pushing this button.
The button of the week
is guilt. And so we gonna play with that a little bit. And something that I found though that was really interesting, and we will do a follow-up on most definitely, because right before this we realized guilt and shame are hand in hand.
Different, but they are different.
Yes, same, very different. And so just in case we all need some clarification, because your babes did.
We did.
Yes. So guilt is a feeling you get when you did something wrong or perceive you did something wrong. Shame is a feeling that your whole self is wrong, and it may not be related to a specific behavior or event. So yes, a bitch did feel guilty for going to Disney, but quickly was like, you know what? This is the decision that I made. I deserve this. I want this. It brings me joy. I know that I'm doing the work in terms of sitting with myself after a terrible breakup in an abusive relationship, but I also need those pieces of joy and moments in order to put the work that I'm doing to work. And I'm like, oh, and no,
win.
Huh?
You need a win.
Yeah. And so am I going to jump back into a relationship? Absolutely not. I'm not doing anything of the nature. But occasionally, what I've learned is if I want and feeling good about going out and being courted and experiencing life and doing something, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I'm also going to test the waters and see, like, are we growing? Are we, like, I need litmus tests is what I have. I'm like, oh, okay, this is where we are. Awesome. But yes, guilt and I'm quick to tell on myself.
I don't know if that's a bad quality though, because like you're quite honest.
Okay.
And not like honest to, well, maybe honest to a fault. Not in an outward way, but in a self-incriminating way.
Oh,
I feel like
bitch is honest to a fault.
Honest to a fault sometimes about other people and outwardly, but not necessarily like inwardly to myself to a fault. I'm like honest enough. You know, like some days we lie.
Sometimes we lie. And you know what? Some things, like, yes, you need to keep that shit to yourself. Bury it. Like, I'm not gonna. Okay, so as y'all know from previous.
Keep that shit to yourself.
You do.
I said that one time to a boyfriend in like earlier in our relationship when I was like, I think I had told him like, you can tell me, I don't know how, because I must have been high.
I must have been high.
You can tell me anything, right? Like we should be besties in different language, but like in a way, that's what I said, I think. And he like once came to me with something, and I was like, you know what? Actually, that I don't fucking keep that shit to yourself.
He's like, but else. You had said, you're like, I lied. Okay,
like
I was wrong.
In our relationship, I was like, you're definitely keeping a lot more things from me now. Like that's chill, but like eventually you're gonna have to tell me again.
No, I am.
Yeah, keep some shit to yourself.
Right? I am for that, because as y'all know, something that is in my past, I'm a cheater, recovering cheater, whatever, like whatever. It's in my past. And in every, is it all of them? Yeah, I don't think I ever kept it from my partner when it happened, because I believed, like, at a certain point, I'm like, the information is important for them to know on so many levels. And also the guilt was eating at me. I was like, I can't, nope, can't do this. And I need to get it off my chest for myself, but also for them so they can decide if they want to still be in this with me. In some cases, I'm like, bitch, you should have kept that shit to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like a double blow to certain types of people.
Yes. Question mark? And people, I've learned more times than not, when I have told the truth, the weight was lifted off my shoulder, but then came back on even heavier because they would not let me live it down, even though they did say that they forgave me. But then I'm like, no, you haven't. And, oh, no, you don't want to go to therapy for it. You don't want to do anything but punish me. And so at that point for me, that is when my guilt turned into shame. Yeah. And I thought that everything about the way in which I operated in relationships was wrong. I didn't know how to do that. And I started feeling super shameful, and that I had to stay in this one to fix it, to show, despite the abuse. Yeah. And so that is when I realized, oh, no. So that's an interesting distinction. And I'm learning when it comes to guilt, there are some things you might not need to tell the person that it happened with, and it's more so about forgiving yourself than them needing to forgive you.
Yeah, because the guilt is what's eating you. If they have no idea, unless you're messy. I mean, people know, but also can be kind of in a state of ignorance about it. If you don't say something to them. Yes. And then it's is it the guilt of them or just your guilt?
That's interesting. My brain went, I'm like, oh wait, come back, because we will go this way. In terms of, so there are certain things.
So what I'm saying is I agree with you that it is sometimes better to keep certain things to yourself, because even though the guilt might be the same for both, one of them you know that it's just going to cause harm,
more harm than good,
unnecessarily more harm than closure. Some people are for sure closure that's closure for them, but other people it's you did it and you're gonna tell me you're
now you just want me to hurt as well, because that's a good point, because I've ran up against individuals. I'm like this, or at least I think that I'm like this, where in regards to cheating, for me, if you cheated on me and it didn't mean shit, it's something silly, it's small, or it was, or especially if it's an experience, I am okay if you do not tell me and keep it to yourself. If it wasn't love, if there's not feelings attached, if you went to Asia and got a happy ending, okay, good for you. I don't. Well, I'm sorry. You went somewhere it had a cultural experience. That came out really wrong, y'all. I'm a vampire? Oh, you're dead. I'm dead.
I don't know. Can you say that with vampires? Anyway.
Right? Well, they're the undead. It's okay. But there are certain things where I'm no, you don't need to tell me. Or if you, I'm okay if you do tell me, because I promise I'll move past it. But if you kept it to yourself and I found out later, I'd be oh, okay.
See, I don't know. Part of me wants to know, but part of me is don't fucking tell me. Do not ruin this ignorant bubble that I'm living in. But also part of me is I better fucking know, or don't tell anybody else, or
See, that's different. If you told other people and I find out from somebody else, that's a whole different. I can run in heels. That's a whole other level of yo, how you know what that to me, that's disrespectful.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
And okay, so yo, as you see, we have taken this train. We have taken a train. And so okay, dealing with guilt from your past, there isn't much that I've let linger, because I am honest to a fault and I tell on myself. But it's interesting. I've had people from my past call me and apologize, like, because they were feeling guilty and it was eating at them. Mama, how do you process or deal with guilt, or what is some of?
I'm trying to think about it. Like, I guess I feel like I had a lot more guilt as a younger person,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I dealt with it in the last handful of years. Not that I have not things to be like whatever for, but like I think like the large part of my guilt I have like been able to deal with. So like now I'm like, oh, like I mean, I process guilt like internally a little bit. I like conversate with myself about it. You know those like shower speeches that you
yes.
like have, and then you're like
Self-rationalizing, making excuses,
yeah.
like,
I don't know. Guilt is really tricky for me because the majority of my guilt is food related. So it's like I can't. Not that I can't have guilt. Like that sounds stupid to say, but like,
does it make you nervous to feel guilty about food because you think you'll spiral?
Just feeling guilty in general makes me nervous. Like I feel like, but that's like the feeling of guilt is like kind of nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I mean, I don't know. It brings food into it.
Got
Even
it.
if it's not food related, which is like, it's so fucking weird. It's so fucking.
Is it activating for you? And is that why it's harder to articulate?
It is a little activating, and it's like I can feel it when it's in, and I can be like, okay, like this is weird, and then like move away from it most of the time.
Okay.
Nothing has come up. Nothing, knock on fucking wood. Nothing has come up that like has not allowed me to like see and like steer from that iceberg. Which is why I'm
yes, because you
fucking wood.
We don't have time for that. No.
As I'm like
we
starting
good.
to sweat and like
right? You're like,
my body. I'm like, wait a minute. No, but like whenever something comes up that I'm like guilty about, like I like address it or like try to like call it out for someone. So like I like just to be like, hey, like I did this thing wrong, I guess. So kind of what you do but is
it more
later.
work related for you?
I mean, it is. Yeah, it is usually work related.
Sorry, I just picked up on that. I was like, wait a minute, but that sounds like, got it.
It is work related. And so I like procrastinate guilt. And that's where I feel like a lot of people do this. But like, yeah, I'll like, oh my God, you should have done that. Why couldn't you have done that? Like, you could have literally done that. Like, it would take 5 minutes, but now it's going to take you like 5 hours. Like, that kind of like nagging guilt. And then I do something and I'm like, yeah, it only took me 5. You know, that kind of thing. But I have to address it within like a certain time frame to avoid any potential like
escalation
of like other things. Yeah.
Right.
But like, yeah, if I like say something mean to my family, like I like not immediately, like a day or two later, I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, obviously, you know, I'm a cunt, but like, I love you. You know, like I didn't mean to spaz at you like that. Or like, yeah, with boyfriend, when I like freak out about like the most dramatic thing, I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you.
Like I just had to be dramatic about it first.
Thank you for letting me be dramatic. Okay, let's have some chocolate.
Yes, let's act like that didn't happen. I acknowledged it. Can we please move past it?
I'm sorry, I'm such a bitch, but I love you. Yeah, but like, guilt is.
Oh, she an interesting. Is she a hormone? Is she in the verse of the
remember. I'm like,
monsters?
I know there's the shame monster,
right?
There's the hormone monster.
There's the anxiety mosquito. Oh,
the love bug.
There's grief. That was. Oh, I'm
Depression
so ready.
kitty.
Right. I'm so ready. All right. Human resources. Big mouth. Yo, I like. Y'all need to get on that guilt glow. I don't know. I was trying to think of something, but I shouldn't, because then they're like, oh, we can't use it, because you would think that we would come for you. I promise we won't. We love you. We hope to work with you one day. Yes. Anywho, back on to this guilt train. I need to go back to our outline because
yeah,
because I do
outline.
I got lost for a moment in this guilt conversation.
Okay, so I've already kind of talked about like when I feel guilty, like I try to address it within like 2 days, pending like how stubborn or like asinine I'm being versus how much I'm like, honestly, hormones. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry that I literally just did that, so that's my range. Things that I can control that I like am purposefully doing, I don't do them, but like things that are like slightly out of my control, I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry. I know this happens, but like, I'm a bitch. Can you please forgive me?
I accept who I am. Please, and I hope you accept me too. Yeah. That's why we're here together. I just realized a bullet that we have on here that I forgot about, and probably why I forgot is because I don't want to talk about it. It makes me uncomfortable because it is something that happens to me, is guilt when you set a boundary.
Who likes talking about that?
Yo, I know. Boundaries, y'all.
Boundaries,
A bitch
I don't know that.
is exactly why a bitch is in therapy. Boundaries, that word, that fucking, that concept. And it was explained to me in such an interesting way the other day in terms of your boundaries being like a well to protect the water inside.
Oh, damn.
So right? Like you are the water inside, and the wall not only protects you from the dirt and the contaminants that are coming in from the outside.
I've never thought about wells
bitch,
like this.
My brain was like, oh my God. I know it's really silly, but like but it also just felt so grounding. Like there was I just understood on a different level, because you are the water and you need to be filled up. And so in order to do that and to stay safe and to, be nourished, you need to protect yourself from the outside, but also protect the water, and that protects the water that's inside so it doesn't get poisoned and toxic. And so by reinforcing your boundaries, that's that level of protection, is like you're a well and you got to fill it up. You got to make sure toxic shit's not getting inside, because if the things that you don't want start slipping inside, then it's just going to dilute everything. Right? And I was like, damn. Yo. Anyway, and
that's like Toxica to the next level.
Ma'am. And it helped me put it into perspective, because a lot of the time, like setting a boundary made me uncomfortable because I felt guilty for doing for myself and doing what I need. And just because you feel uncomfortable about it or you feel bad doesn't mean what you're doing by setting that boundary is bad. And that was news to me. I was like, well, shit. No wonder we have been in abusive relationship after abusive relationship. And that shit stops now. And a bitch is in therapy again, also. So helpful, so important, so amazing. But it is a process, and I've gotten less uncomfortable in doing so by, the information that I have, talking about it, reinforcing them. I understand. And I also have stopped getting offended when other people need to do what they need to do for them. I'm like, oh, that's your boundary. It has nothing to do with me. Like
I think that can be the hard thing to like see other people setting boundaries, is like, if you have not yet set that and someone sets it for you, you're like, wait, excuse me? Like, it's me? And then you're like, oh wait, no, it's not me. It's like them, literally them. Mm-hmm. But like, it takes a minute, and then you're like, oh, it's not some type of way. It's literally.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We and that alone just I I felt as if a weight has been lifted. Mind you, lots of work still needs to be done, but the understanding of the importance and the
I was 10 years old when I heard this fucking story, and I was like, oh wow. It makes a lot more. There's a more urgency,
right?
To set boundaries to keep them.
Ma'am, same. And I was like,
God damn it.
I'm like, well, welcome to the motherfucking party, Alyssa. I'm glad you finally made it. Here we are. We've been waiting for you. Here's your seat. Please sit down. Do not move. Yes, please. And so, yes, work still needs to be done, but it's something that I intellectually knew, but emotionally was having a hard time understanding because of the cycles, all of the things. Needless to say, that is a guilt that I know oh so well. Y'all, let us know. No, yes, no, oh yes. What are some of the things that, or how do you move through guilt? Curious, or have dealt with guilt in the past? Do you tell on yourselves? Are you like, nope, I'm with Vasquez, and some of that shit just is compartmentalized. I'll be fine. I'll get over it. We're not touching it. It's sitting in a box in the corner.
Or are you a little bit more emotionally intelligent, and do you have safe ways of dealing with your guilt? If so, please share in the comments below.
Right.
Are you an expert at boundary guilt avoidance? Because also, love that you felt your guilt that deep. Good for you. Share your story below.
Hand me your shovel, please. Or your contractor who, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so
let's step away from guilt.
Yes.
Into our push replay. In our video, Take Care of Yourself. This comment comes to us from our dear friend Matthew Perkins.
The one and only. We love and appreciate you.
Okay. I get it. I take public transportation daily, and I hate when people try to talk to me, but I'm a man, so I just look them in the eyes and ignore them. And I love that boundary that you have been able to set for yourself, Matthew Perkins. And I'm honestly, I am jealous because I can't do that. As
interesting.
He said, I'm a man.
Oh.
If some dude is eyeballing another dude and he gives him that look.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a man, but I see dudes giving them each other looks. But I'm also nobody wants to just randomly chat with a dude. Mm-hmm. No offense.
It is different. And something that I was talking to Shahada about the other day is we are in a different time. And I'm not saying that this didn't exist, in the past, but it is so much more accepted and happening more blatantly that when women do not respond a certain way that typically, not always, that men do not like, things will further escalate to the point of potential assault. They will go out of their way to continue to accost the individual or to, even lay their hands on them. And so there's this.
Bitches be dead because of this.
And
all kinds of, everyone has died.
Yes.
People have died.
And it's wild and heartbreaking to me, what, the level that we have to operate for just our safety. I have to be careful about whether or not I want to talk to someone or based off of if I'm going to make it home. I don't want to ignore or be rude to someone because I'm not sure of what they're going to do and my safety is actually.
If they can handle a rejection.
Right.
And not kill you as soon as you turn the corner.
Right. She said that. She's the level of fuckery that is out there these days is significantly higher than what it has been in the past. There's a certain the audacity of folks to be I'm angry or I'm this or I'm mostly angry at the rejection. It's sad and it bothers me. But yes, there is a certain level of envy of damn. We could do that, but there might be different consequences.
That's Sadly, you don't get away with it. Like true sadness. Not just like LOL.
And I don't public transportation, so but I do walk a lot more now, and I am about the sunglasses and AirPods.
And
like
mask. If you put your mask on, people like 10/10 will most
they get it. Like, nope, I do not want to be bothered. Do not.
But it also sucks that you have to put your, I mean, like, not to be whatever, but like if you're in an area that is following mask mandates, like, yes, you should have your mask on. But if you're in an area that's not, it's like, don't make me go to extremes, possibly.
Right.
Do this.
But there's also, like, I just realized I'm also a very friendly person and a very, like, open person. And apparently, like, I give off this energy and this vibe that I'm so approachable.
Swear there is an energy.
Anywhere we go, people be like, they're like, I gotta talk. We gotta talk. And sometimes I'm like, I'm okay. Yes, at most, I'm like, hi, or thank you, or good morning, good afternoon.
You gotta cut somebody off, though, maybe. I think lately, which I appreciate, when I like come to you for something, you're like, I literally not right now, and I'm like, okay, good, because I didn't get that vibe from you. Like, you know, when you can come up to someone and you're like, I can tell this, and like I often do not get those vibes from you until you're like verbally like, hey, and I'm like, okay, that's it. It's just need a tone of voice, a pitch change to know, like, okay, this is not, no.
I love that you brought that up, because y'all, I kid you not, 3 to 5 minutes later, I'm like, Mama, I'm sorry if I snapped at you. I felt so guilty.
And I'm like, literally what?
I was like, I can't right now. Like, and I instantly was like, oh, Alyssa Aaron. Nope, bitch, it's fine. But I had to, that was my guilt. And I had to apologize, check in, let her know. And she's like, anyway. So it's something that
had already moved on.
Yes, something that I'm working on, but appreciate that you recognize. I'm like, oh, okay, I will take that. But yes, Matthew Perkins, thank you for the comments. Always, we love and appreciate them. And y'all, that's what we've got for you this week.
Guilt.
Yes, guilt.
That's what we've got.
That bitch be heavy. And so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe,
follow,
become a patron. It is that all of the things. Download.
Yes, download.
Yo, and also let us know what you think of the new setup, the new equipment, because right, we're so proud, and only going up from there. So we will check you next time. Bye.